Can I just start by saying I've given up on episode numbers. I don't know what episode number this is. No one cares. It is the March 2019 edition of the Hopcast. I couldn't even remember the month there either. This is not a good start, is it?
It's the Chef Beer Week edition.
It's the Sheffield Beer Week
edition.
Special edition. We're at a mystery venue that's probably not a mystery if you've been on social media already. But, right, let's give you some clues. If you don't already know where it is, see if you can get it from these clues. So, I would describe it as being a real staple in the Sheffield beer scene, but it doesn't sell any beer on any kind of hand pump at all.
Yeah.
Recently celebrated an anniversary.
I think I know this.
You think you've got it? Sean thinks he's got it.
I think I've got it, yeah.
Any other clues?
You can't swing a cat in here, or a tiger. You can probably swing a cat, just.
I would phone the police and get you arrested, Adam, if you did that.
Yes.
Particularly if it was Tosin over there.
Yeah.
We'd have to
Yeah.
rescue him.
It's also currently closed. We're in it and it's closed.
Mm-hmm.
Any more clues?
It's 10 foot by 10 foot.
Is that true?
It has no roof.
Has no roof.
It doesn't have a roof.
No, makes it very dusty.
Also doesn't have its own toilets.
No,
No,
that's going to be a worry.
but we don't
Nowhere
say
to sit
beer,
down.
So nowhere to sit down.
Officially.
No, a few kids have sat on the floor.
We are sat down.
And the current Hopcast is filling the place. There's no room for anything else.
We are literally blocking the doorway. So as you probably figured out, we're at Beer Central. It's taken us, a year and a bit to get here, or in your calendar about 5 months, that's when we started, wasn't it, Sean? For us to finally make our way here. But we thought for Sheffield Beer Week, it seems like just a good kind of place. Beer Central,
Surrounded
kind of
by
like
beer.
a good focus point for us to get together.
Yeah, Sheffield Beer here, look, bang
Yep.
next to us.
Right in front of us.
We're in the
Beautiful
Sheffield
Abbeydale
section,
cans.
is it?
We're in the local section, so we've got St Mars of the Desert, Abbeydale, Lost Industry, Kellam Island, Bradfield, Mitchell's, Brew Foundation, a little bit of a nod to Chantry and Rotherham, and my beloved Acorn from Barnsley, of course.
The way this is going to work tonight is that we're each going to pick a beer off the shelf, but it's got to be linked to Sheffield Beer Week. So an easy option there is a Sheffield brewery, that counts, that's fine. It can be a brewery from further afield, but you have to justify the link to Sheffield Beer Week. So maybe someone that's doing a Meet the Brewer, or they're at an event, or they've got a tap takeover or something like that. They're the rules. Everyone happy with that?
Yeah.
And everyone's got free choice.
We're not allowed
from the fridge or from the shelves.
Not the top shelf, though.
Not the top
We've
shelf.
been warned off the top shelf.
Expensive stuff.
Where the milk tray
Yeah,
is.
you know, when you get the little ticket at the fairground, when you've put your ping pong ball in a fishbowl or something, you've only got one ticket. You've not got the free ticket top shelf prize
The dirty magazines.
that drew you in the first place.
Fair enough. Before we get into that, let's do Beer of the Month. Laura.
Okay, so mine is a classic. I went to the Marble Tap Takeover at the Devonshire Cap a couple of weeks ago, and the first thing I made an absolute beeline for when I got there was a pint of pint. And I don't normally drink pints, I'm more of a halves kind of person, but I was like,
I think you're a pint girl, Laura.
I'm not
Yeah,
usually.
I think you're
I like to drink. I'd like to try more beers. So
Yeah, all right, yeah.
You just keep them really strong.
You,
strong halves.
But yeah, I did have a full pint of pint, and it was delicious. You know, it was when it was quite warm as well for February, and just got to the pub straight from work, pint of that straight down, brilliant.
Are you allowed to call it pint if you have it in a
I
pint?
think-
Because you can't buy a can of pint anymore, can
No,
you?
is it not
Yeah.
called metric now?
Yeah. Yeah,
No,
but
it was
kind
still
of-
Well, they're all
called
different,
pint
aren't
on
they?
cards.
Yeah, they are. They've gone
Yeah.
more generically with metric.
I mean,
now.
I was
Well, there is,
cheeky
yeah.
on social media and drank a bit out of my pint before I took a photo of it next to the pump lip, and was like, 500 millilitres of pint.
You can see it from here, it says metric, otherwise known as
Metric,
pint.
that's
Yeah.
it. Had some more
Don't like
delivered
that.
today. Marble have been over today. So
But yeah, it was
I've
just
got more.
tasting spot on. Earl Grey IPA was tasting really good as well. But
They'd,
Yeah,
I think I'm right in saying that they'd count as a choice for tonight, because I think they're doing an event somewhere.
Yeah, I thought they did, but I couldn't quite.
I might be making it up. I'm sure I've seen
Well,
somewhere.
come
that
back
they're
to that one. You
doing-
can
Yeah,
scan
we'll do that.
through.
In the meantime, let's move on to Adam.
I'm going for a can I got right here. probably about a metre away. I have raved about these before, but I don't actually get to drink them very often because Sean doesn't stock them very often. And it's Whiplash,
Okay,
Oh,
yeah.
I've enjoyed
Yeah.
those so far.
which every single beer I've had by Whiplash have been amazing. This one was Surrender to the Void, an 8.5% IPA,
Double IPA.
yeah, beautiful. I just find them just really drinkable, whatever the strength. They're up there with your kind of Cloudwater, Verdant, and North. I think if you like those beers, you've not tried one, you can't go wrong.
I promise we'll get some more in. Adam.
That's my
promise.
That's my
They've sold out, and so that we're like that. They've gone very well, so that they will be coming back.
Got one in the fridge. Yours for £8.
No, that's alright, I'll wait for Sean's
No.
next batch.
Damn, that was worth you. I may have lied. I can't find any reference to anything involving marble in the programme for Sheffield Beer Week.
They did ask us Marble, to be very fair to them, but I'm not keen on this as a venue for beer tastings because we close at 5:30. I'm not in love with it as a venue, hence why we go to other pubs to do our
Fair enough.
events.
That makes sense. Do you want to go next, or shall I go next?
I'll go next if you like.
Go on, then you go
Yeah.
next.
Follows order and round the table, doesn't it? My beer of the month is my beer of the year.
Ooh.
And was probably my top 3 of 2018, but it's been re-released from Wander Beyond in Manchester. Oh, I believe actually, Laura might know. I think Wander Beyond, a link to Marble. I think one of the sons of someone who's one of the owners of Marble might be involved in Wander Beyond. I might be totally wrong, but I'd heard
Right
that.
city, aren't it?
But their Bloom, their Imperial Black ice cream IPA with strawberry and chocolate sounds like a right old show pony beer, but absolutely beautiful, staggeringly good. 11%. Again, we always say it, don't we? Drinks about 4.5.
Until you fall over.
It delivers everything, and black IPAs are something I miss. I was always a big fan of them,
Oh, I
and
really
I've
like
missed.
black
Yeah,
I think they're sneaking back. I've seen a few.
They are. Yeah, I've missed them badly. So beautiful beer.
Well, that's an interesting choice.
Is it?
It is. Right, my beer of the month it's actually from a brewery. I'm not going to say that I'd given up on them, but had not amazed me with their last few offerings. This one absolutely back on form, and it's a double IPA from Verdant. People Do Odd Things, which reminded me of way back when I fell in love with Verdant beers. It was right back to everything that they do brilliantly. It was really thick. It wasn't over hopped, which I kind of felt that a couple of their really big beers that they did last year were a bit over hopped and almost kind of, you got a bit of mouth burn from them. Yeah, just a little bit too much. This was absolutely spot on. So right back on form for Verdant. Lovely beer, and yeah, I highly recommend it.
Their seafood bar that they've opened up down in Falmouth
really
looks
wanna
absolutely.
go.
I'm the same,
Yeah.
Laura. I'm desperately the same. All their beers, and then just cutting edge, beautiful seafood. It's just perfection.
Have they got any plans for expansion and stuff? Because in
I
terms of
believe
like,
so, yeah.
They've
They
just done
have.
crowdfunding, haven't
yeah, I was
they?
wondering if there's
So
any sort
they've
of
got-
cemented
Yeah,
plans.
I think that was
for,
part of something they were already doing, the seafood bar, but it looks brilliant.
It's a long way, so we'll have to away
It
day.
is, yeah.
But
But
they're-
away week.
If you buy the
Right.
cans direct from them, they're really cheap, aren't they? They're
Yeah.
like stupidly cheap. So you could almost justify
Drive
the
there.
amount it would cost in petrol to drive there to save
You could fly
like
down
a
to
couple of
Newquay,
quid on
you
it.
could fly into Newquay, yeah.
You can get a train all the way down to like
Plymouth or something.
Yeah.
Plymouth,
Yeah.
yeah, and
Yeah.
yeah, a few other places that I'm
Southampton.
sure that. I'm trying to think where on the.
Southampton's absolutely nowhere near.
Is that
It's
in
not-
the, no, it's
Nowhere
down.
near. Another embarrassing
Plymouth.
geography
If
attempt.
it's south of
here.
Watford,
know
then
exactly
it's
where
No,
it is.
down.
no,
Is it Falmouth?
nowhere near. Yeah.
Ah, right, okay, so it's right down
So
the bottom.
Newquay and all there.
See, saved it there, didn't
It's
I?
So as we're each going to pick out one beer that is in some kind of relation to Sheffield Beer Week, and as we do it, we're going to have a chat about Sheffield Beer Week itself, about some of the highlights, some of the stuff that I know, Sean, you're involved with, something that's happening. I think we're all attending several different things, so we'll just have a bit of a chinwag about what's going on and what we're excited about, and see if we can come up with some good plans for the week.
Good.
For first beer off the shelf, who should we go to first? I reckon, I think Adam.
Alright, we'll have a look. I have been having a quick look round.
Right.
I have my eye on something because there's an event on which I'm quite interested in. Which
Nothing
is...
expensive, Adam. Remember.
Alright. Well,
remember.
We've all got to keep it. I think we've got to keep it low percentage as well. That's
well,
okay.
okay. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that.
Well,
So-
I've got my eye on something that's quite high, yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to go
Don't
for this
pick
one.
mine, don't go for that one.
No, I'm going to go for this one. So I've gone for North Brewing. I was another brewery I rave about a lot. Transmission India Pale Ale, 6.9%. Is that all right? Is that low enough?
Oh, yeah. 6.9.
Well, I'm certain that'll be the strongest beer that we have this evening.
Is it, who's going to be the first to say it drinks
It drinks like
4.8?
Doesn't taste its strength. Doesn't taste its strength.
So there we go.
Pass another one.
There you go.
Pass another.
So my link is that at Shakespeare's on the 15th of March, so I'll be coming towards the end of Beer Week. They're running the North versus the rest of the world. So that'll be, I think it was 7 special casks actually. Whereas I think some of them are the only, I think they've been brewed special for them or packaged up in a cask way, which they're usually in a keg or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, they've done them clearly done them a nice favour to provide them with them all and at once.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant. And then so they're going to be taking up the cask lines, and then the rest of the world kegs will be like places from Lervig, Michela, Fearsome, Verdon. That's not very well. They're going to Scotland, aren't they? They're in Scotland's rest of the world.
Yeah.
So yeah. So we're really interested.
And they've gone for Verdant near Southampton.
It's just nearly out there. Nearly Southampton.
Literally a different country.
I was thinking about where trains went from here. That's all.
Oh, excuse me.
Yeah, so that should be pretty good. Anybody think they might pop in down there next Friday?
No. Excuse me.
See what it clashes with,
I
shall
don't know,
we?
I've not thought that far ahead in the week, to be honest. I'm still kind of juggling stuff on Monday and Tuesday, and
Next Friday at the Sheaf View at midday, they have a wooden cask of Theakston's Old Peculiar. And I've got a feeling that could be one of the biggest queues of the week. They've put some social media pictures up today.
Hey, we've got some fans.
Yay.
That's Rini who loves your voice, Sean.
Is it? And so, especially for Rini, they've got the Old Peculiar in a wooden cask. I think that's a bit of a coup for them, definitely. So what do you think to this?
I've had it before. I think it's really good.
Yeah,
It's
delicious.
really nicely
I've
packaged.
not had it for ages. It's been a while.
It's
since
great
I've
on
had it.
cask
bold
as well.
I often quote to customers that I think it's the best core IPA
I've heard you say.
in the UK.
It's very good.
Also, to have a 6.9% IPA is just your core.
Yeah,
Bam! That's
I know.
pretty.
Yeah.
It is.
That's
It's
pretty
ballsy, isn't it?
Yeah, bold. I was going to go for Sean, but ballsy you can
I
have.
mean, some go 5.5.
It doesn't taste its percentage, does it?
I think it does actually.
I think it does taste
Yeah,
quite
I
strong.
think
I don't think it
Is
tastes.
that because it's the
I
first of the
wouldn't say
night, perhaps?
Maybe.
So, yeah.
It's very Moorish.
Yeah,
Very-
it's,
it
does have a
it's
bit of a sharpness.
absolutely delicious, isn't it?
It's very good. I was actually in North's tap room in Leeds on Saturday evening, which is, I'm assuming everyone's been at some point or
Not
not
to their
been,
new
no.
one, no.
No.
It's really, really good. Really good lineup of beers, including the Hop City beer for this year, which sounds absolutely fantastic. It's like a real hit list of like, you know, the creme de la creme of that sort of breweries. Which I've got a can of, which I got from here, which is in my fridge at work, waiting for the weekend where I'm going to drink it. And I thought, if I've got a can of it, I can't also buy it on keg. That's kind of cheating. So I had to buy something else, and I left thinking, why have I done that? Why have I not drunk that
You
beer?
could have compared and contrasted.
Yeah, I know.
you
It was
see.
a real silly thing to
And
do.
you could have said
and I was only allowed to have one beer.
Can.
I think the can's cheating generally, though. I feel like, you know, I think you go for the actual like dispensed version as the
People do like to
the one.
compare.
I think the reason I was a bit taken aback because I was looking forward to trying their 8%. I can't remember what it's called. Their new double IPA that's been
Ursa
knocking around.
Major.
You had a few in,
Ursa
yeah.
Major.
And I'd actually seen that in cans in a few places, and I thought, no, I'm going to North, I'll try it there. And it wasn't on. And they didn't have it in cans either, even though I'd seen it on sale in cans in other places in Leeds and not bought it. And then they didn't have it, so I was a bit taken aback, and I ended up going with the new Wylam IPA, which can't Chasing Mirrors. Yeah.
Through a haze.
Yeah. And then afterwards when I left, and I was like, I've just gone to North Stock Room and had a Wylam beer. What's wrong with me? What am I doing?
When you go to Wylam, which looks beautiful up
Yeah.
there, you'll have to hope and pay back north with a
right.
North beer.
Talking the Ursa Major, that would be on my
It's
top beers
gorgeous,
of the month.
isn't it?
I've not put it on tap, so it slipped my mind, but beautiful.
Despite having perhaps one of the most famous and best bars in the UK, North Bar at Leeds, I still think that North Brewing are still sailing slightly under the radar. They're getting more and more well known for real top quality, but I think they're up there now comfortably, and have been for a while with some of the real top
I'd
dogs.
agree.
And I still don't quite think that they get the recognition that they deserve.
I think if you remember back to last year when we talked about, this time last year we went to Indie Beer Feast.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure at least 3 of us said our favourite beer of that festival was
The orange,
one, wasn't it?
yeah, Curious Orange.
Yeah.
That was mine, definitely.
Yeah, really enjoyed
I mean,
that.
Volta, their rhubarb blood orange
I love
sour,
Volta.
brilliant.
Well, they're back at the Beer Feast again this year, I think, aren't
Yeah.
they? So
Yeah,
they're a really nice bunch of people
They're
as well.
really
Everybody that I've met from North's
top
been
class.
lovely.
Yeah,
I quite like the fact that you've got those kind of 2 or 3 breweries that are just kind of emerging now, and that maybe aren't as hyped as some of the others.
Yeah.
That are just doing really good beers, and probably Wylam probably still fall into that
they
category.
do. Yeah, they definitely do.
And just some really good stuff. Which actually made me think, we've not talked for ages about any new breweries that we've discovered that have really taken us aback. Because actually I was just looking up at the shelf there, I've had a couple of beers by Odyssey that I thought have been really good. And I didn't know anything about them before.
Yeah,
trying
I've
to
been
look at
going
their beers.
3-4 years now,
Been a fan
and
of them for a couple of
bottles
years.
originally.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah.
Then they stopped small packing, didn't they? And mostly
Yeah.
keg, and then they've come to cans again this year,
Right.
2019.
Show
Show
me
Me
a
a Hero, which is that's an IPA.
Yeah,
I think they changed the hops in it each time, but we had that at Sunfest last year. I've had 2 different versions of it, one at Sunfest and one in Old Workshop, I think, and both of which have been stunningly good.
they early on they did a beer that was reputed to be the most hopped beer, UK beer of all time, Dr. Green Thumb, which they did in a little collaboration with a local lad, Fraser, here in Sheffield, who's sort of quite big on Twitter with his beers, and Dr. Green Thumb, and it was really sort of pitched as the most hopped ever beer. It's probably been beaten since, but I don't know how they measure it. But
Talking of new breweries, I'm just racking my brain to be honest, but is it Loxley's first year anniversary?
yeah, it is.
Yeah, it coincides with Sheffield Beer Week, isn't
Yeah,
it?
which is really good. I recently had their Wisewood 8,
yeah.
which is a 3.8% Pacific Pale. And I think I told you actually, I really enjoyed it. We're still talking slightly on the more like traditional thing,
Yeah.
but I would kind of say it's slightly like a cask dead pony club.
Right.
So similar strength
some
and
juice
similar.
in it.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that. So happy birthday to them as well. It's really good.
Yeah,
that
very
they've-
happy birthday.
They're-
Adam's very lucky to live near there.
Yeah, well, they're very good. They're very
lucky.
good guest stuff on.
If we mention you at the bar, Adam, how will we be looked after?
I don't know if they know it
Get
well.
thrown out there and then.
Well, I had,
Banned for life.
they had Soundwave on there, keg for £4 a pint this week. So if you don't want something
You can't
like
argue
that,
with that.
you
Yeah.
can't argue with what they're doing on keg as well. So
Their birthday party, by the way, is on the Friday of Sheffield Beer Week, so on the 15th, with homemade pies and delicious pints.
Yep.
You can't go wrong, it says here, which is a fair point.
Have you had one of their homemade pies, Adam?
you
You look like you have.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever had one of their pies, but I have.
Have you not?
there we
Well,
are.
alright.
Yeah.
18 minutes in and he's got his first dig in. There we
They've
go.
actually recently renovated the downstairs bit as
Yeah.
well, so they've got like a separate
cellar restaurant sort of
it's
area.
children free and stuff. But they've done such a good job of it. Yeah, just get yourself down to Wisewood, and if you've not been there yet, it's a bit of a trek, but there's buses that go straight
Yeah.
outside.
And a kip on your sofa. So
Yeah.
that's
Sure.
guaranteed.
Or
Sean,
power back to
you
yours.
promised me that you're gonna
I've
make a visit.
already
haven't
asked, haven't I?
you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, thoughts on transmission?
Love it.
delicious.
Yeah.
Good, yeah, very good.
enjoyable.
Really, really excellent.
To finish it off a bit, this is really good.
Yeah, get stuck in.
It's
Adam.
your beer, mate. You
Adam's-
get it down, yeah. You get it
Adam,
down.
Adam again is dropped on drinking with me, so I get my one mouthful and he gets
Oh,
the
yeah.
rest.
I
A
thought
bit
we were
of a
drinking
state
with
This is why you had a
bit of
headache
state
last
after
time.
the last
Yeah.
one,
Wow,
wasn't
yeah.
it?
It was, yeah.
Oh, a bit
Poor
grumpy
lad.
with Sean. Feeding
Huh?
us with, topping us up
Oh,
unknowingly.
beer feeder. Brilliant. Who's going next? Laura?
I'll go next. If
Are you
you
going to go
want.
next? All right.
Yeah, Laura's staring me down
Laura.
as if she.
She's
yeah.
still scanning the
still
shelves.
looking.
So I'm going to go for a Sheffield brewery. I thought for Chef Beer Week, we're a Sheffield business. It's a Sheffield Derby week as well. It would be embarrassing if I picked any beer from outside of Sheffield. So
Is the beer going to be more interesting than the Derby was?
what I would think. Yeah, what would you give? What would you give the Derby
A
on
pint of
Untapped?
water, I think,
What
would
would
be
you
more
give the Derby on Untapped?
You can go
What
to a
would
you give it?
quarter
Less than
of-
one.
What less than one? Yeah, 0.75.
I'd probably give it a couple of points just for, you know.
This is a beer I had last weekend. We've sold it quite some time. I not had it in bottle and took it home last weekend and was really bowled over by it. I'm probably going to embarrass myself now and you three are going to say, well, it's a bit thin or it's not so good. But really, really impressed by it. It's Little Critters Brewery. Who are a little bit like us, are a Sheffield business, but owned by a Barnsley family, so I
didn't know
like
that.
that. It's their King Crow. It's an Imperial Espresso Stout.
Ooh.
It's 7.2%, 500 ml, 500 ml bottle. So I've beaten Adam
You've
again.
We've gone up.
You can't go down though now.
Beaten Adam again.
Yeah.
Is that the
No,
challenge
you
then?
can't,
Right,
you
we're just going
you
up.
can't go down.
Okay.
And I absolutely adored it. So I'm fingers crossed. I'm not quite sure how Laura's bottle opener works.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
I've managed it.
marginally better than yours.
I've managed it. It's better than my wild one, isn't it? So go on,
Lion's
Adam.
share.
You have a small glug, and then you can finish the rest of the bottle at the end. I don't like coffee in real life at all.
I don't know what
can't-
you're going to say there.
I cannot abide coffee.
I'm not a coffee fan.
I don't like tea either, but I can put up with tea. And I probably only had a coffee once in the last 20 years that was given to me by someone who hadn't asked if I liked coffee, some little old lady, when I was delivering a Christmas card, so I had to have it. But I love coffee in beer. Love it in beer.
I'm like that. I actually I'm not a big fan of coffee, but I love coffee beans. You know, you get like coffee
Oh, yeah.
beans covered in
Yeah.
chocolate and
Good.
stuff like that.
Coffee
They're
beans.
brilliant.
Right.
It's the
Love
crunch that
coffee
they
things,
give. Yeah.
but yeah, I'm not a fan of coffee.
Just
But
a-
Greek coffee beers do tend to
Smells
work
good.
quite well.
Yeah, a note on transmission when that poured beautifully, I thought earlier, and just a note on this. This is poured
Yeah, it looks-
beautifully
it
as well.
looks
isn't
good
it?
in the glass.
With
It
a
smells
hint
amazing.
of
It
transmission.
really does.
in the,
So yeah, we don't have any cleaning facilities.
that's
So,
all right. We have a clean glasses.
We're roughing
yeah,
it. We're roughing
yeah,
it.
we really are. Lovely head on it. Look, nice coffee laden head there.
That's nice.
Oh yeah, that's lovely. Nice and creamy.
It is.
Pretty good.
Got lactose in it. or
Now
is
that doesn't taste 7.2 at all.
It's not. I'm quite surprised actually. It's not got any lactose.
Yeah.
It's
got a nice,
really good
mouthfeel on
body
it,
and
hasn't
mouthfeel
it?
to it. Yeah.
The coffee's quite subtle. It tends to be towards the end, doesn't it? You don't get it up front.
And it's contract bottled as well. So given that
Contract bottled, is it?
bottled, yeah, bottled.
Broccoli in it. What?
Given that has happened to the beer, it's still in outstanding condition
Yeah, no, it's just
and
lovely.
feel.
So
And
it's got fair trade coffee
pretty-
beans ethically sourced by Kellam Island's The Grind Cafe. So
yeah,
keeping it,
Nice
keeping it
local
local as
connection.
big
well.
up to Dave Dolmio who works down at Grind.
Dave
one of us
Dolmio?
customers. Yeah, Dave Dolmio is a well-known Sheffield chef and Dolmio sauce lover.
Is that like Sally Traffic on radio?
Right, let's as we drink this, Sean, tell us about your event for Sheffield Beer Week.
Okay, it's a week today. It's 6:30, so I'll be in the the dressing room, limbering up,
Is that the
30 minutes to go. Yeah,
For the
13th,
for the
Wednesday
benefit
the
of anyone
13th.
that's not listening to this on the day that we record it, which will be everyone that's listening to it.
Apologies. Yeah,
That's next.
yeah.
That's Wednesday.
It's a week last Thursday.
Wednesday the 13th
Wednesday the 13th.
of March,
We,
2009.
it's our third Sheffield Beer Week event with Shakespeare's. First year we did an Omni Polo night, before of course Omni Polo were cool. Last year we did a dark versus light event. Adam at Shaky had dark beers, we had light beers, and we turned it into a pretend little battle, me and Adam as enemies, and sort of taking each other on, and we won. We were fortunate enough to win last year, and so Adam is out for revenge, and it's a battle of the beers. So 4 rounds: IPA beer, sour, mystery beer, and stout to finish.
So you're not doing
And
light versus dark?
We're not
this
doing
year?
dark versus light. We thought we would compete on perhaps on more equal
That's
terms.
fair.
Even though dark beers were the favourite last year to win, we managed to pull it off on the all light beers. So this time, IPA versus IPA, sour versus sour, mystery versus whatever mystery Adam's got lined up, and we're can and bottle. Adam is cag and
Kag and can.
Honestly, I'm not drinking.
Keg and
Keg
Ken.
and cask, and so we're up for it. We're limbering up.
And you'll
There's
have
been
to
a little
give
bit of trash talk as well.
Can we
He's
have any
been
little
calling out
clues
our
about
customers.
what kind of thing you're going for the mystery?
How do you know that you're not going to pick the same beer?
We don't know that, and so I mean it would be
That'd
a
be nice,
real.
there'd be a draw.
It would be.
Get independently verified by somebody, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah, you
we,
do,
we,
yeah.
we don't know that, but it would be a real
Let me know what you're doing.
amazing thing.
I'll speak
I can
to
tell,
Adam.
I can
and I'll
tell,
go,
I can tell
"You're
you
safe,
all. Yeah,
You're safe.
Adam cheated last year by
Oh.
using our own beer against us. One of his dark beers was our Ski Sunday Fudge
Oh,
Brownie
yeah.
Stout, so he made me diss our own beer.
I'd say that
on the
was
night.
Is that
resourceful.
cheating?
sure.
Yeah. I think that's just good practice.
It was
Yeah.
regarded on the night as outright cheating, and I think it went against him
That-
when the
No.
votes were cast at the end.
How was it done like
Adam
like
also
Ready
has a
Steady
com-
Cook, where people had to hold up like either a dark
at the
or
end,
light?
they just had to put an arm up for dark
Oh, right.
or light.
It's like-
Adam has a teenage conviction for harming puppies as well, and so that also went against him.
Did he try
And
swinging
so we'll see how he fares. My mystery beer is in bottle and is a barrel aged fruity number.
Ooh.
That's our mystery beer. No, mate. It'll be a great night. It's sold out already. We've got 30 customers, and we have a good laugh with it. Nice build up. A little bit of niggle on the night. Some nifty Muhammad Ali
Did I-
footwork and
Did
a
I hear
range.
Good
a
luck.
rumour that Adam was up to some mischief again this year?
He's up to some mischief, whereas I like to simplify things for
You know
everyone there, and let's just put our hands up at the end. He's trying to do an individual round by round scoring system,
Do you know anything about
counting
it?
up I'm going to rip up the scoring sheets.
I might have
if
been
you-
in his presence.
Oh,
when they
well,
were,
yeah,
planning
yeah.
something.
They're getting ripped up. I will recycle the paper, but they are getting ripped up. We're going with gut feelings, and he's getting a bit too analytical. He knows that. Yeah, he's not got the patter with it all. So he's gone for the stats and the analytics. It's very disappointing from him.
Well, good luck.
Well,
No, look, no
fingers
looking
crossed.
forward, is it, Sean?
You sound quite confident. Quietly confident.
Yeah, even if I wasn't confident, I would pretend to be confident.
Right.
And knowing how Adam performed last year, then I've actually dug out a trophy I won for skiing when I were a younger lad, and we're pretending that is the trophy. So that the trophy will be there on the night.
Were you Eddie the Eagle?
No, I won a ski race once in Italy, and the trophy is
wondering what you were doing.
massive. Back in the day when you could take massive trophies on aeroplanes, And so
kind of sentence is
that's
that?
the only trophy I've got at home.
That's true. It's like an offensive weapon
it
now, isn't
really
it?
is.
Can we call the episode?
It's about
You
this.
could hijack an aeroplane with that.
So
now.
it's got Italian writing on, so no one will know that it's not. So that will be our event.
Maybe we go back to naming episodes by random things. That could be it.
Yeah.
But back when
I
you
also
could
like
take
that.
massive
Yeah.
trophies on airplanes. There you go.
Yeah, that works.
Trophies on aeroplanes. That sounds like a beer name.
Sounds like a band.
Trophies
Yeah.
on aeroplanes.
Yeah.
That's definitely a Verdant beer, isn't it?
It is.
That's got to be it.
Oh, should we try and push them to
Trophies on aeroplanes.
this place? Verdant. Name your next beer.
Channel
No,
our inner
they,
Verdant.
if they do listen, I hope the Verdant boys do listen, but
Imagine.
they would have turned off after Southampton earlier.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
probably true.
They would have turned
Adam
off.
like publicly
I'm not
dissed
having
them.
this.
Yeah.
You were talking about direct trains down south, and I was thinking where you can get
Near
direct
near
trains.
Verdant Seafood Bar.
No, just get you down there, and then you get.
I think Plymouth got mentioned,
Yeah.
and I think Newquay got mentioned, and then
Yeah, I said.
Southampton.
Nice.
So
Alright.
King Crow.
So what do you think? Yeah, King's
That's
Row.
Imperial
Nice.
Espresso Stout, 7.2. Little Critters Brewery, local brewery, good choice.
Yeah.
Well done.
I would
Um,
just question their decision to call a 7.2 stout an imperial, but
Oh, what's the cut-off point?
Do you know what? In this
But-
day and age, that's almost a session stout, isn't it?
Yeah.
but I did think
Table
it
beer.
tasted very nice.
Where
It did
is the
indeed.
cut-off point, do we think, just out of interest?
I'd say you
Eight.
have to be over. I'd say you
Eight.
definitely have to be over 7.5, but I would usually say
so
8.
Are we saying that? Are we saying that Halcyon is no longer an Imperial IPA then?
No, that's an Imperial IPA would be.
Oh,
would
right.
be
So it
okay.
depends on
Yeah.
depends
So
on
a dipper would have to be 8 if you were double IPA, I think.
the. Oh, so it's the
Seven-
goalposts get moved depending
Anything
on
lower
style.
than 7, yeah, Halcyon is the benchmark Imperial, I think. So 7.4 and above, I reckon.
There you
But-
go.
Sounds fair. Right, who's going to go next?
I think Laura should go next.
Are you going next,
Can I go
Laura?
next?
All right, you go next.
I've got something in mind.
See, Laura forced me into going next last
I
time,
wonder-
and now
I
she's
wonder
willing.
if- I
Now
wonder if
she's
anybody
willing.
can guess where she's going to make a beeline for.
Abbeydale. Do you want
No,
these Abbeydale
no,
cans
no.
passing
I
over?
wouldn't be
Abbeydale.
that obvious. I'm going to be.
You're going to the fridge.
I'm going to be even more obvious, arguably, and I'm going to go for something from the most mentioned without having been drunk
Yeah.
brewery, and I'm finally going to get us to feature a Torside beer.
Hey.
So the link to Sheffield Beer Week is that they will be pouring at Indie Beer Feast. I know they've got some one-off kegs pouring, which I'm really excited to try. And the other rather tenuous link is, of course, that their biggest fan is from Sheffield.
That's true. That's definitely true.
So
What was that? What was that?
Jim.
So I've gone for the bourbon barrel-aged American barley wine from Torside's Monsters series, which I don't think I've actually tried this variation. I've definitely had their barley wine, but I don't think I've had the bourbon barrel one.
I don't think I've ever had a barley wine.
Do you know what? I was just going to say the same thing. I think.
What about
I-
Last Rites? Abbeydale Last Rites.
I've not had that one. It's,
No, I don't think
no,
I've
but
had
I
it.
didn't.
No?
No.
No, I honestly
You've
don't.
never had any
What
barley
about Gold
wine?
Label off your
Not nothing
grandma?
called a barley
Gold
wine.
Label off your grandma
Oh, no,
when you were
like, yeah,
14?
I think if I was put on a line, I'd say barley wine's my favourite beer style.
Whenever I think
It might be mine in
I
5
may have
minutes'
mentioned-
time.
I may have mentioned this before, but whenever I give my dad a try of a beer, if I'm ever around staying there, I'm like, oh, just try this. And it's something strong. I think he always go, oh bloody hell, it's like a bloody barley wine. That.
It
And it's
is.
just like goes back to probably days when barley wines were a
So
kind
what,
of a
what makes a barley wine a barley wine? Because I'm obviously put off by the fact it says wine.
I think it's just their strength.
Yeah.
I have had barley wine.
Yeah.
actually. I just not many.
Yeah, not normally that hop forward, although American barley wines are more hop forward and relies a lot on the malt that goes in there. Big ABVs
Yeah.
normally offer up a real nice fruitiness.
So what percentage
This is
are we
a
on? here?
bourbon. Is it,
Yeah,
what's
just-
the back?
just-
Is it
just the
10%?
10.
Just 10. Just 10.
Just edged it
Just
into
10.
double figures.
Because remember, we can't go down.
It's been a real rainy
we're
day in
limiting-
Sheffield.
Actually fits.
We're limiting
Innit?
your choice a bit here if you've got to keep going
Do you
up.
Were you picking a
remarkably,
barley wine?
it does actually fit. I am going to go up from
No
six.
way.
He's
There's
had
nothing else
something.
stronger in
I
the
am.
shop.
As James is
I
setting
think
up
this
his
this
microphone.
fits a day like today, miserable and drizzly and rainy and a bit of a chill.
Oh yeah, it's like
warm in
it's
aroma.
like a lack of hot, like a bite, like a bit of bitterness off. Actually.
I don't really like that.
I don't know what I think about
Sweet.
I mean,
If you've never had a barley wine
best
before,
before
I'm
end
surprised.
2027.
Yeah, aged
so-
beautifully.
Another fun fact about, just to add on to my Torside Fangirl credentials. So the woman who does all of the artwork for Torside and all
I
the
was
cute
reading that.
little hops, is a woman called Emma Sidwell, who is the partner of one of the brewers. And she doesn't just do Torside art, she makes her own jewellery with her art on it, and she takes commissions. So you know how they did the Dogs of War series?
It's funny you've mentioned commission. Are you on commission?
I'm not
Or-
on commission, but I have commissioned Emma
Have you?
to, following on from the beautiful Dogs of War series. She's drawing me and Jim a picture of Tosin in naval uniform
Oh, yes.
for our anniversary
Very
present to
nice.
each
So
other.
is there a Cats of War series
There's
coming
Cats
then?
of Carnage.
Cats of
Is it like a
Carnage.
German meow? Or whatever
No,
it's called?
it's more kind of Nelson vibes.
Okay, I was thinking you were gonna get some like kind of Torside earrings done in some sort of.
Oh, you can get them. They're already available.
What?
Yeah, she makes them into.
What
She
if?
makes them into little pieces of jewellery. They're really nice.
So I suppose Torside are kind of local, really, aren't they?
Yeah.
They're well, between here and Manchester,
Yeah.
New Mills. I think I've been to New Mills a couple of times.
Actually, that's a fair effort from you, Adam. A real
Yeah, my geography were a little bit better there.
a
wasn't
real
it?
fair effort. Yeah.
But yeah, I
If you can hear that in the background,
Some
it's
respect.
someone
Thank
moving
you.
a chair in the loudest
Thanks,
way
Nikki.
possible in the
But
entire world.
she could have picked it up. She could see we were recording.
Yeah.
She just thought she'd just drag it along the floor.
But yeah, I will be at the Beer Feast Friday day and Saturday night behind the bar. So if anyone's around, do come and say hello.
I am there on Saturday evening.
Can you give like a Hopcast discount code?
Could give out a little code word.
You can gotta
for-
go like.
I think there were a few freebies
Torside
actually last year
forever.
knocking about. Late Saturday night.
Oh, daytime.
I missed them.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, no, I did. I got a free. I can't remember what it was. It was Magic Rock. It was they'd got a stout that was like really strong.
Bearded lady on, didn't there?
It might have been
It was
actually.
one of the.
yeah.
It was
Hazelnut
one of the.
bearded lady,
It
Yeah,
might
right?
have been
something.
Hazelnut. Yeah. And I interviewed Stuart. Did
Yeah.
a quick interview with him for the podcast, and I was like, I was going to buy this anyway. And he went, no, you have it for free. So that was it. That was my only freebie of the night. Well, the only freebie of the night that I remember.
But I'm very much looking forward to Indie Beer Feast this
I
year.
am
I think
also very much
practice
looking
2
to Indie
days will be
Feast.
really good.
It's kind of weird. It's like when we did our kind of awards for the year, and Indie Beer Feast didn't quite make that cut, but we all collectively thought it was an absolutely brilliant festival.
I, in hindsight, regret that, if I'm honest, because I do think out of all the events that I went to last year, it kind of I'm not going to say surprised me the most, but because it was a Sheffield event and we quite, I kind of want to put my arms around it and kind of like, this is ours,
Yeah.
it's us, and it was bloody good.
Yeah, it was really good.
Yeah.
It was very, very well.
Smart venue, brilliant beers.
Yeah, great venue.
Brewers to talk to all day and all night long.
Yeah.
Quirky
There's
venue.
not much more that you could really ask for in an
No.
event like
Decent
that. Like the
food.
building, you could get lost
And
in
the
the
freebie
building.
from Stuart at Magic
And a
Rock.
freebie
you,
from Stuart.
You really did nail it.
Thank you, Stuart. Yeah, good. And then the lineup this year is really good again.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be cracking.
And I think as well it's good the fact that a lot of the breweries who are involved at Indie Beer Feast are a lot of the ones that are doing the events around the city
Yeah.
throughout the week as well. I am, however, particularly excited about another event from a brewery that isn't going to be at Indie Beer Feast, unfortunately, which is another of my favourites, Bad Seed from Malton, who are doing a tap takeover at the Itchy Pig on Thursday the 14th.
Brewed a beer for it, I think.
They have. The Itchy Pig, Ted and the team have been up to Bad Seed, and I'm sure had a great day with them. As I'm actually, I've got to make the pilgrimage over to Liverpool on the Wednesday night, so I'm missing all the events then to go to Seabur's Beer X, which unfortunately still clashes with Sheffield Beer Week. But I will be back on Thursday, so I'll be herring off from the train station up to Broomhill to go and say hello to Chris and James from Bad Seed and Ted and the
Bad Seed, yeah.
team.
Chris was here on Friday, Saturday. They did Pedal for the first time last weekend, and he came in Saturday morning looking to kill time in Sheffield, and he'd had a brilliant time on the Friday night down at Pedal.
If anybody doesn't know, everybody's seen Laura just kind of pictures on social. She likes a good brewery bobble hat, and
I
she's
do.
sporting a.
The new one
Yeah.
from Bad Seed.
I've got a new
Yeah,
with
the new one.
their Swish new branding on, which is quite a departure from their old
James
branding.
It
quite
is.
a good hat.
But
a
it,
bit jealous there.
it looks
I
really
like other
good.
people having better hats than me. I'm not sure we can be
You must have got
friends
used to it by now.
I've become quite the hat convert
I
this year.
am not going to be preached to about hats from Sean.
I
Clark.
don't wear hats generally, unless I'm skiing. But even then, I'm not that bothered.
Do you not get a tarn hat from Tarn Shop?
Tarn hat? A
Yeah,
flat
they must
cap.
sell-
I don't
they must
suit
sell
hats.
some-
Baseball caps.
They
I
must
look
sell
an
some
absolute
Barnsley
idiot.
FC stuff though.
A
surely.
flat cap. I'm hoping I
I
could fill into a flat cap eventually, but I don't think it's going to happen.
I've got a flat cap.
You got
I
accent
don't
for it.
think it's going to happen. I know. It's pretty good. Got whippet, got accent, got walking stick.
Got walking stick.
Well,
I never
just
knew
don't
we sold
suit me.
walking
Glottal
sticks
stop.
here, Sean.
Well, the walking sticks are a new
What?
entrance
That
into the
is
shop.
weird.
It's time to mention perhaps my dad and my uncle Mick, who make our very famous beer crates.
Do you actually do sell?
We sell
Sticks?
we sell those beer crates, but my uncle Mick, they're both very good joiners and woodworkers, and my uncle Mick also makes walking sticks.
Very
he
nice.
He asked me dad about 3-4 weeks ago if we might just squeeze a few sticks into the shop and,
Tell you what,
and
I
try
can-
and sell on his
I like the
behalf.
Beer
swirly
Stick
one.
Central.
We've not
Fancy a pimp can.
we've not
Yeah.
really
Wow. Sounds like
done
bloody.
any
these are
promotion or
insane.
anything.
Thou shalt
Like,
not
if
be
you, we
asked.
need to take some photos of
That's,
these and include them in
that's
the
a real
the
capital
It's a
episode.
real
that.
proper
Yeah.
job.
You need
isn't
to
it?
see
You could
these.
slam that, got on a bridge and slam it into ground.
Somebody came in yesterday
Bet you won't be able to take that on a flight.
and picked up this thumbstick, and embarrassingly he said to me, "Do you know what wood this is?" And he knew a little bit about sticks. I said, "Oh, you mean the thumbstick?" to show that I knew it was a thumbstick and I knew the name for it, but I don't know what the wood is.
What does a
I'd have-
thumbstick do?
I'd have
You
thought
put
that
your
was
thumb
a-
there and
great
you,
for
you
audio,
walk
this.
with
Great
that
audio,
as
this.
your weight. Yeah.
Probably the best way I can describe it is by saying I'd have thought that this
It looks like
was
a catapult with a
some
really
kind
long
of
handle.
snooker accessory
Yeah, I'd
because
have
it
thought
looks
snooker,
exactly like
yeah.
what do you call the thing where you can't reach
The
it,
rest.
so you have the rest, yeah.
The rest.
So it's the rest,
It looks like-
except for rather than the two little prongs sticking up or sticking down effectively, so that you can
Well,
rest
Sean's
on them.
about to give us a demo.
It's all in one.
Yeah.
Hang on, let's take a photo of
Thumbstick.
this, so then we can
Yeah.
post it.
Yonder hills.
Right, you
Looking
can
over yonder
pose for a
hills.
second with it. That's it. There we go. So there'll be a photo of the thumbstick, which will be released with the episode.
wish it.
It's like a
I
really,
wish.
Sushi that
it's like a
actually.
really
wish
elaborate catapult.
Yeah.
Away ship.
That would suit you actually. I can see you with a
But
bit.
one day,
bit
it's
of-
just
bit
a
of a
flat
farmer
cap.
type.
It's a flat cap that doesn't suit me.
I really hate to bring this back to beer,
Chuffing hell.
but someone's got to do it. So have we all?
Yeah.
What thoughts on
I think-
Sweet.
Torside? Then I'm still not sure what I
warming.
think about it. I didn't dislike it.
No, I think it's,
It didn't
yeah.
amaze me.
But I think you have some preconceptions of something that's pale and has a strength of that. I think you're thinking that, it's missing the hop bite. I think.
Would it
I
be
think
right
it's
to
right
say
to be
barley
fair.
wines
It's not
probably, as a style, probably drink to their strength more than any other
Not that.
style of beer? You think that was easy drinking?
Yeah, actually, I'd agree with that. I think
Yeah.
it was easy drinking.
Yeah.
You normally get a bit of
10%.
heat,
Oh, if you think
bit
that
of
was
heat
easy
in your
drinking,
chest.
Glass Rights is absolutely dangerous.
Oh, really?
It's so
Crikey.
it's so delicious, especially at the moment because it's really fresh. So it's still got quite a lot of
Yeah,
hop character to it.
that people are
It's
saying
so
it's a
easy
triple.
to drink.
People
You're
are
making
saying
me
it's a
doubt
triple
what my
IPA.
selection should
Give
be.
it a
Right,
year.
at the minute. Yeah.
I'd say if anybody's got any if anybody got to drink one now, save one for at least a year, and it will absolutely transform. And I like it when it's a bit older and tastes
Yeah.
a bit more like a really boozy Werther's
Yeah,
original.
they're a good, I think, barley wines late on Christmas Day.
Yeah.
When you're just really in the.
I've got a couple in the
really,
cellar that I'm saving for next
You're in that
Christmas.
lazy mood. They're a nice
I
lazy
expect
drink.
it to be like
that-
more syrupy.
yeah.
You're right though.
It's
Christmas,
they're good at them though. Torside are very good at them, and the American barley wines do have a bit more
If-
hop in than a
Yeah.
traditional.
Also, if you ever see Torside's Rausch wine,
Yeah.
Yes.
that I've mentioned many
Yeah.
a time, get it.
What
because
are
it's
the other
great.
two there,
There's
Adam?
a
We've
wheat
had
wine.
the Rausch wine before, but currently what we
There's a
got?
wheat wine over there, and
Yeah.
the other one's a a winter pale.
You're probably not
It's
hearing this.
also in the Monster
I
series.
think that's
so
about
there'll be a big
9%.
No,
Yeah,
the
that winter
Monsters
pale.
range are the big strength ones,
one. Yeah.
aren't
And the,
they are. They're very
there's-
reasonably priced for how strong they
The
are.
Winter
I do think
Pale
they're-
is also,
they're good
uh,
value Torside
It's
beers.
a collaboration with Bear County, so that's guaranteed
Yeah.
to be absolutely bonkers.
they? Talking, you've seen that some people call it a triple IPA. Another one I've had recently, which is really good. You sell it as well, which is the Northern
Honor.
Monk
Honor.
10.5%. That drinks quite
Yeah.
easy for a 10.5%.
I don't think I've tried that yet.
Yeah. It
Again,
was
in a year's
one of
time,
the
if somebody aged that
recent
drift
one.
more into barley wine territory. And I know a few people that like to age big triple IPAs and,
Yeah.
and drink them as barley wines.
Yeah.
Then eventually,
Like me, I'm
Yeah.
a prime example of that kind of person.
does anybody on the label of the Monster series? I always see a horse's head.
Yeah, that is a horse's
Is it?
head,
Is
yeah.
it? It's
Right.
not.
Where?
Like
It's
in
a,
that
it's
way.
a it's a monster.
You're
No,
seeing,
it's
you're
a
I
seeing
think
it,
it's like a
yeah,
little
but-
octopusy kind
Yeah,
of
that's
thing.
it. It is.
you're seeing
Yeah.
it kind of. You're seeing it as like a side
I'm
on
seeing
thing,
it as a
aren't you?
side on,
Yeah,
whereas
I'm
it's
seeing
it's
it.
coming at us. Two eyes.
Oh right, no,
there,
it's the same as you.
coming
I'm
at
seeing
us.
because it's got a mouth.
Yeah,
its mouth.
Yeah, I thought this
It's
was
the
a horse's
little
head, and it looks like it's got a body
If
there
anything,
as well.
with the
front legs.
the way that it blends into the
Oh, we're
actual
in Emma, aren't we?
Torside
Get it.
labelling at the top, it's a unicorn.
It's
Yeah.
It's like on the
got
advert where they're like,
Yeah.
"We're coming out of hiding now," and they are. They're on Torside beer labels. That's it. There's
go.
a bit left in that. Someone's got to finish
Yeah,
that.
Adam.
I think
Come
it's
on,
a little sedimenty. I don't know if it is on.
All right, yeah.
It could be.
Oh, okay.
Don't worry about
Do
that.
you want to get down? You drink that while I pick out my beer because I've got a slight dilemma with my
That's
beer.
going to give me stomach ache.
That is
isn't it?
sedimenty.
No.
That now.
Go
Yeah.
on,
Go on,
get
go
down,
on,
get
go on.
down, yeah.
Go on. Is it right? I
Chew
think
on
I've
that.
seen it in Belgium where they'll serve the beer
Yep.
in Belgium and then in a little glass at the side serve the yeast and
So you can, like,
allow
add-
you to either blend it or drink it neat on its own or leave it.
All right.
You've got three choices.
nice,
There's a specific beer that does come with it. It's like a really fancy tall glass, and it comes with a little shot. And it is
Yeah.
that exactly right. It's like the end bit, and they say like mix it in.
Yeah, you can do what you want with
I
it.
can't
Yeah.
remember what it's called, but
I like that
Good
as
story.
a concept.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it is.
it's
nice.
It gives the drinker the choice, and you can
Yeah.
have a play back.
I've got a
with it.
bottle of gin that's like that. It's a plain juniper-driven London dry gin, and then it comes with this teeny-weeny bottle that's like all the distilled botanicals just in
Right.
pure alcohol. So it's up to you whether you want to
Yeah.
dose them in or just
Or
drink
shot
it as
it.
it is. Yeah.
You shot it.
I
didn't
don't
you?
think shotting it would be a good idea.
Right, it's time for my beer, and I've got
4.5%.
well, I've got dilemmas here because obviously we met in the shop before we started recording, and I had a look around and I did pick out a beer, and it does fit all the criteria in terms of the fact that it's got a link to Sheffield Beer Week. It is actually over 10%. My dilemma is the fact that, and you might have heard my voice slightly earlier when you mentioned it. It was your beer of the month, your beer of the year, is the one that I picked out. It's the
right.
Bloom by
Well,
Wonder.
I'm very happy that
Beyond.
you've gone with my advice.
And I'm going to stick with it. I'm going to go for it. I wouldn't say advice, Sean. I would say that it was picked out before. I had it, like you, I had it last year when it first came
Yeah.
out. I'm really intrigued to try it this year as
Do you
well.
think I could even persuade you to start sporting Barnsley after this? James has gone to the fridge, by the way. We can talk about him while he's
which
back.
is a relatively new
He's
addition
back.
to the Beer Central.
It's not. No, that was there on the opening day.
Well,
And,
it's been used more.
before fridges were cool and trendy, obviously.
I really don't know how I feel
we
about
brought it back.
ice cream.
So,
IPA.
it's Bloom. It's an Imperial Black ice cream IPA with chocolate and
trust you.
strawberries. Laura, did you have it last year?
No, I tend to not go for black IPAs. I don't really like them.
What is it about it, you think?
It's kind of like a
that weird-
light stout.
It's that weird
with this.
roasty versus hop.
Yeah.
that
Right.
I don't like. So I'm thinking this could be a winner because
'Cause it's
the
gonna
ice
soften it
cream.
down. Yeah.
Right. And
Do
we
you
all
like
know
a
that I like
Neapolitan
a
ice
dessert beer.
cream?
Yes, I do.
Yes, I do.
I also was lucky enough to meet Tina, who does all the artwork for Wander Beyond on Monday. I was over at Cloudwater with a load of incredible beery women earlier this week, and Tina, who is a brewer herself but is working currently at Wander Beyond as their designer, and I absolutely think her stuff is amazing.
Yeah, it's
It
good.
really
They do
is.
good can designs, don't they?
I
Wonder
also
Beyond.
feel like me and her, I said this to her on Monday, I was like, we have the same taste in animals, because she's done all the weird animals that I like manatees
Oh,
and
okay.
axolotls all feature on
Good old manatees.
on the Wander Beyond artwork, so
Just to justify my choice of this beer, by the way, they're at Indie Beer Feast on Friday, obviously, and Saturday. They're doing a tap takeover at the Greystones on Tuesday. They're also doing something at Brewdog on Friday. So I think this counts 3 times over.
They have
if you
taken
count
over
Indie
Sheffield
Beer
Beer
Feast
Week.
as 2 days, then it counts 4 times over. So that
Also,
justifies my.
It tastes nothing like
selection.
it smells.
I can smell that from my glass is firmly on the table and I'm sat back in my chair, and
tried
it's
that?
just like strawberry ice cream.
It is one of the best. I've not
I'm really
tasted it, but
excited
it's one
now.
of the
It smells
best
Did
smells.
not
amazing.
taste like I expected it to taste.
In a good way or a bad way?
I'm not sure
The
yet.
jellyfish on the labels are little ice cream scoops.
Right,
That's
yeah.
so good.
I think it might benefit from being a touch warmer. This actually, or a
That's-
black IPA, darker
Still
beers. I
very
like a
good.
touch
It smells
warmer.
really soft, but it's not. It's quite right.
I'm really intrigued as to what Laura's reaction is to this.
It actually does taste like melted nibble ice cream.
It does, doesn't it?
I would like to make an ice cream float out of that.
Yeah, it would.
Well,
Classic Laura.
what's next month, Laura?
That's true.
Is it my turn next month? I'm so
I
excited.
think it is, yeah. I think it is. I think we're off to,
Beer
we're off to
cocktails.
Laura's
Yeah.
and Jim's.
Getting a taxi that night.
You know, we're talking about events that we're
Prosperity
looking
Show.
that we're looking forward to. Can I give a mention here to friends of the Hopcast, definitely, but over at Bar Stewards next week they have a Southwest takeover, which includes some amazing beers they've got on. So I mentioned it earlier. People Do Odd Things, which is the Verdant
Yeah.
Dipper. They've got that on in keg. Which is not. I don't think it's been to many places in keg, so they've done well to get hold of that. Also got Safety Flares, which is a 5.2 from Verdant as well. They've got a few left-handed giant beers on keg. I've not come across this before. Woodland Creatures. Has anyone come across that?
Pistachio.
Pistachio and
Yeah.
honeycomb
Yes.
milk stout.
Been out in can.
That sounds
I
fantastic.
did get that because it's got a little owl on the
It
can
has,
and
yes,
I
it
really
has.
liked it.
They've also got some Daya beers as well on keg. 3 Daya beers on keg, plus 3 cans that they're going to have as well. So I've now turned into a full-on Daya fanboy. So I will be there at some point during the week to have all 6 of those. I've got to do. So
Still need to be
that's
there on the
kind of-
night, I reckon.
That's my that's my sort of highlight of the week. What I'm really looking forward to.
I
And,
really can't pick what I'm looking forward to the most.
from Sheffield Beer Week.
Yeah.
There's quite an interesting event taking place at the Devonshire Cat, isn't there, on Monday, which I think is worth mentioning, which is
Yeah,
it's
it's
called
the-
Out and About.
Out and
Yeah,
About.
it's the launch of it's a new project called Out and About, which is Michael, who's the beer manager of the Devonshire Cat, and Heather from the Rutland Arms, who've paired up to create Out and About, which is designed to welcome all people, but primarily LGBTQ people, to the pub, and make it clear when a pub is a safe space for anybody that wants to just go and completely be themselves. Abbeydale have actually done a collaboration beer for it called Setting Out, which will be launching on the Monday night at the Devonshire Cat as well.
Brill.
But I just think it's a fantastic initiative, and anything that gets more people feeling comfortable going out drinking beer is
Absolutely.
absolutely a great thing. So I'm looking forward to going down and showing some support for that.
It's a great call as well, because I find that actually the sort of the good beer pubs within Sheffield are probably the most liberal as well. So you think about pubs like the Devonshire Cat, the Rutland Arms, the Shakespeare, kind of all the Bar Stewards. But they're generally pubs that are really sort of liberal, welcoming pubs. So I think it's great that something's been done to kind of put a little bit of a banner above that and just kind of make a big deal about it, because I think it's
Yeah.
great that we've got such good pubs in Sheffield that are so welcoming to anyone, whatever your background is, whoever you are.
I think that-
If you enjoy beer,
Yeah.
there's some great pubs for you in
I know
Sheffield.
they're planning as well to develop it into monthly events that'll, as far as I'm aware, will vary. So it might be like a bottle share one month, and a pub crawl another month, or just various different events encouraging people to just spend
Come
more
along.
time talking
Yeah.
to each other and
Love
having
that.
a nice time. And so definitely look out for that. They've recently set up all their social media. So yeah, look them up. Out and About, new organisation for Sheffield.
Fab. Adam, what's on your list? We've not talked too much about your
Well,
plan for the week.
at the minute it's Indie Beer Feast Saturday afternoon. I might wear my t-shirt. I said it on the half pint, but if anybody wants to say hello, come and just, if you listen, come and say hello. I'm quite interested in possibly going to Greystones for the Wonder Beyond thing. It's a brewery that I've not drunk that much of, so it'd be nice to be able to kind of get that in Sheffield.
Imagine that on cask particularly, if that is available on cask.
The one I mentioned earlier, the north one at the Shaky, sounds quite brilliant as well. It's all kind of one-off stuff. I'll try and get to what I can, I think, but they're the two things I'll pick out for my week.
Well, so thoughts on Wonder Beyond?
Delicious.
It's nice. It's
You
not
won
what I
over now by Black
expected.
IPAs.
I want to take Black Ice Cream IPAs.
Yeah.
I can get on board with.
It's blurred
Because that
lines
has-
though, isn't it? Because
Yeah.
what's the difference
Do you think
between?
that- do you
I don't
think-
think it tastes much difference to what you'd expect from something that's a
Yeah.
stout or a porter. The difference being that it's hot.
Yeah.
I think you
It
do
delivers
get,
the ice. It delivers
Yeah.
the ice
I
cream
think-
feel to it.
I think
You
in
get
this
the hops.
instance, the hop gives a little bit of just a gentle little tickle of bitterness as you swallow,
Yeah.
which I think balances out the
Yeah.
fact that there's it's
Strawberry you
obviously
get
a very
in there
sweet
as
beer.
well. I love it. I did have a full can, of course, to myself, and I think it even improves as it just gets that darker beer,
Yeah.
just a little bit warmer.
It needs to coat your throat a little bit, doesn't it, on the way down?
Yeah.
It just really is making me want an ice cream.
Mm.
Oh, which can I just give a very quick shout out to another event that I'm very excited about for Sheffield Beer Week, talking about ice cream beers. I've got tickets to the Burning Sky food and beer pairing, which is taking place at the Stag, rounding off Sheffield Beer Week on the Sunday night. But one of the courses, there's 4 courses, but in between them you get a palate cleanser of cuvee sorbet.
Right.
And I feel
Forward to
like
that.
that alone could be a highlight of the week.
That sounds good.
That's
That
something I'm
sounds
really
really
looking
good.
forward
Stag did a brilliant job last year at the Wild Beer Company
Yeah.
food
Yeah.
pairing there. I think Jim was there.
He was.
And Jim acted as a guide in the snow for me and Deborah.
Oh, was that bad?
It was appalling snow that night, but they did a brilliant job, so that'll be fantastic.
Was it snowing this time a year ago?
Yeah.
On Chef Beer Week, it did. There were a lot of snow and ice. It were really bad ice that last Sunday.
I was definitely abroad for part of Beer Week last year because I missed all the
I missed
snow.
everything last
Yeah.
year.
Yeah, there were a load of snow about. Beast from the East was a year ago last
Yeah, of
week,
course it was,
wasn't it?
yeah, of
And
course
that
it
was
was.
down then for a few weeks. Then
It's kind of hard to believe.
Temperatures
Although that
never-
storm earlier was pretty horrible
Yeah.
today. Right then, so we've got to make some choices here. We've got to pick our favourite beer of the night. I'm gonna go to Sean first because I think his is probably a given.
Well, you'd imagine so, wouldn't you? Based on tonight.
Oh, here we go.
No,
He's going to build this up and then he's going to go the choice we thought he was going to go.
honestly, based on what I've just had there, 4 mouthfuls and a bit of each beer, what I've enjoyed the most tonight was the Little Critters King Crow. And so, if I was at home and opened those 4 bottles and was taking me time and perhaps more care and taking it all in, that decision might be different. But that espresso hit, I loved it. Yeah, I loved
Okay.
it. Yeah. So
Didn't
this is
expect
still
that.
that is
Alright,
still
that's
my
good.
beer of the year in the context of when I had it.
Right.
Last weekend, I had that immediately after the King Crow at the weekend.
Right.
Yeah, I'm favouring the
Maybe
King
it's
Crow.
King Crow.
I had it a touch warmer that, and I think it was even more creamier than straight out of the
Maybe you need it
fridge.
as a chaser then. Maybe it's a King Crow
Yeah.
blue
Yeah,
chaser.
I do
mix
like
them
to build
together,
up to
yeah.
beers,
Do a
so I've
blend.
not really done that tonight.
Yeah,
Bam, straight in.
So it was my 4th beer of the night, but I drank all 4 rather
Okay.
than shared all 4, of course, last week.
So Sean goes Little Critters. Adam?
I loved it.
I'm gonna go Transmission. My beer, my kind of style. There's nothing wrong with any of them. I really enjoyed all of them, but there's just something really quaffable about that beer for 6.9%,
It's bang on.
and it's nice and cold out your fridge as well. So
This is shameful, me and Adam picking our own beers. We've picked his own
God, you
beers.
have, yeah. Oh, God.
Shameful.
Right. Laura, are you
Well-
following suit?
I'm actually not in Laura doesn't.
Do we need to edit this
Shocker.
out?
Which is, no, I think I pretty much wanted to say word for word what you said. Like, I think all 4 beers have been delicious.
Yeah.
But the one that I want to rush to the shelf and pick up another one off and drink another one off is the North Transmission. So for that reason, I'm going to go for that one.
Okay.
Cool.
Which leaves me with a choice now, doesn't it, as to whether or not I make it a draw or go with one of the others. I've got to be honest, my choice was going to be North Transmission. I do think the Bloom's fantastic and I absolutely love it, but it's probably not the style that I would go for. And so, of the kind of beers that I tend to really, really enjoy, Transmission is a really great example of it. And I think that because it's a core beer, it probably doesn't get the recognition that it deserves that one-off beers tend to get. And when we do kind of beer of the month and stuff, it tends to be one-off beers that we pick, with the odd exception. A very worthy winner.
Yeah, very affordable beer.
I didn't expect it to be a 3-vote winner either tonight. I thought it was going to be a real split vote.
I think it was more that because all of the beers have been really delicious, it is choosing that.
Yeah,
it's that drinkability factor that comes into play a bit more than it would sometimes. I would like to add that I think the little critters for me definitely exceeded my expectations. I thought that was really good. But yeah, all 4 have been. I would drink them all again, but I would run to grab myself a can of Transmission.
Fair enough. There we go then. I guess that's pretty much it then for tonight. All that's left for us to do is to wish you a very happy Sheffield Beer Week.
We'll see what Laura's.
From the bottom of Sean's heart, have a good Sheffield Beer Week.
I'm in good nick tonight, so yeah, have a very, very lovely Sheffield Beer Week.
So next
Thanks
month
for coming to see
next
us.
month we'll see you at Laura's house, I think.
Yeah, we're off to Laura's for
think-
something different, something completely different.
At
I
what
can't
point,
wait.
Laura? What day of the week is it on? Next time.
Don't know. I think it might be a Tuesday or a Wednesday.
At what point would you start tidying round before we arrive?
Is there
no
no
need
need
to
to
do that
tidy
for
round?
us.
Isn't there? Is there no need at all?
Oh no, there definitely is need.
Right.
Not for
I'm
us.
Night
clean.
before.
I'm
night
clean,
before.
but I'm messy.
That's it's like us all.
Right.
No, I'll make it look nice. I'll spruce it up.
Yeah.
You're gonna
Nice
get-
hand wash in the toilets. Well, obviously.
yeah.
Yeah. All right. Good stuff.
Molten brown.
Yeah,
20
is it?
quid,
Oh,
yeah.
Very classy.
Tell us about a little dicky bow.
Oh, you should be so lucky. Yeah, we might get an actual meow from my little beer cat next month.
Mr.
Right,
T.
Brill.
You might
Beer
want to
cat
join
meow.
in.
When you said me, then I thought you were going to say meal. We might actually get a meal.
I think nibbles
the
are a
next
given.
Nibbles,
Nibbles, yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Something you've made. That'd be
Babes.
lovely.
Looking at Jim's Instagram this week, I'm hoping he's going to cook us up some nice some pastrami. That is
yeah. I love pastrami. Yeah.
It's very
Bake
good.
us some
That's on
bread
the
and we
order.
might try it.
Right, so there we go. So next month we're off to Laura's house for something very different. Might involve snacks, might not. We'll find out.
So I've been mercilessly mocked for over a year for drinking beer cocktails, but I finally bullied you all into
Yeah.
coming to try some. I think I'm going to convert you. I'm really excited.
Do you know what
It
we're
is
having?
exciting.
Yeah.
Do you?
Yeah.
Already?
At least two. I know the angle that I want to go at for the cocktails. 2 of them, I've certainly got the beers already that I want to use.
So will they have specific beers or a style of beer? Can you
It's
just do
a
it with a
style
style?
it definitely
rather
a
than
style.
a specific beer?
Definitely a style, but I do have specific beers in mind for a couple.
Right.
Very good. Look forward to it.
Brilliant. Right, we will see you at Laura's next month.